Yo, welcome to the channel. Hope you're all doing well. So, today, we have heard some news about an animated Lord of the Rings movie or something along those lines. Instant excitement for me. The more Lord of the Rings, the better, really. Games, movies, cartoons, I don't care. As long as we get Lord of the Rings content and it's done well, I'm a happy man. So, be sure to subscribe to the Broken Sword channel. Great channel for Lord of the Rings lore. And they used to be the History of the Ages channel. So I need everyone to go and subscribe to them if you're seeing this. Because basically they went through a ton of stuff and their channel got... A lot of YouTube stuff happened and unfortunately I had to start a new channel. I love their channel. So please go and react, go and watch, go and subscribe, go and do all the things you can for the Broken Sword channel. Great channel for Lord of the Rings lore. Go and subscribe. This used to be the History of the Ages. They're the same guys, just on a new channel. And a better name, in my opinion. I love the name, The Broken Sword. We all know what that means. What it refers to. So, that being said, let's get into this. The Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim animated movie reveal. I'm excited. Let's see what they've got to say. I know nothing, by the way. I'm going in this fully blind. You all know the intro. Go and subscribe to them.
Hey guys, and welcome to the Broken Sword.
We have news today.
I'm so excited. So, if you guys haven't already seen, there has been an announcement for a new standalone movie, but not just any movie, an anime.
I know, this is quite big because a lot of people don't want an anime for anything Lord of the Rings.
I've actually never watched any animes. The only animes I guess you could count, which I just classed them as cartoons growing up for me, were Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon. That's it. That's it. Nothing else.
So
No, a lot of people don't. But, having said that, this is something that we've said about for a long time. We've personally said that we feel the Silmarillion stories lend themselves very well to anime. That's
Couldn't
not what
agree
this
more.
one is. This one is much later than most of the stories in the Silmarillion, and I personally think that it does lend itself well to anime.
yeah, definitely.
So, before we ramble on too much, this film is called The Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim.
Ooh.
Now, personally, for me, the Rohirrim and Rohan in general is one of my favorite aspects about The Lord of the Rings in general. The Rohirrim are super, super cool in my opinion.
Rohan's my favorite.
What's even cooler
as well.
about this is being made by New Line Cinema,
Yes.
which means it is set within the same universe and timeline as the Peter Jackson trilogy. So everything that we see in it, all the visuals, all the places, they should look 100% familiar to us because they are based in the same universe that we are, familiar with. That's exciting to me.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, I like that.
The fact they're kind of taking it as I say a prequel, even though it's not like a prequel. They're doing it to set up Helm's Deep,
Yes.
which is just amazing.
Yes.
So should we get on to the official announcement?
Yes, we'll just read straight what's been said to give you, all of the information that's currently available. So, the Lord of the Rings saga will continue with a standalone anime film, The Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim. New Line Cinema and Warner Brothers Animation are teaming up for the new feature, which explores the untold story behind the fortress of Helm's Deep. The film will also be a companion piece to New Line's The Lord of the Rings trilogy, from director Peter Jackson. Continue, James.
The Lord of the Rings trilogy is a monumental achievement in cinema, a sweeping, truly epic saga that won oodles of Oscars and broke the box office bank. It also resulted in the Hobbit trilogy, but let's not talk about that. Okay?
Which article are we reading?
Instead, let's talk about The Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim, a new standalone anime feature coming from New Line Cinema and Warner Brothers Animation.
The film will be helmed by director Kenji Kamiyama, who directed Blade Runner, Black Lotus, and Ghost in the Shell.
I haven't seen any of them, so I don't know.
We'll plunge
Let me know in the comments if you've seen any of those movies. Were you happy with them? How were they?
fans into a legendary battle that helped shape Middle-earth and set the stage for the epic adventure brought to life in the Lord.
I'm being quiet and listening because this is news to me. I didn't. I wanted my reaction to be fresh, right? Everything I'm hearing right now, I had no idea about. Someone in the comments just let me know. I assume you know about the Lord of the Rings anime, and I was like, "Excuse me." I thought he was trolling. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm just trying to take this all in. This is crazy.
Film trilogy. Sorry. Oh, typical. Where are we? The story explores and expands the untold story behind the Fortress of Helm's Deep, delving into the life and blood-soaked times of one of Middle-earth's most legendary figures, the mighty king of Rohan, Helm Hammerhand.
Yes.
When I read that for the
Yeah.
first time, I can't even express my excitement.
Oh, one more bit. All of us at New Line feel a deep affinity for the extraordinary world J.R. Tolkien created.
Same.
So the opportunity to dive back into Middle-earth with the team at Warner Brothers Animation is a dream come true, said Caroline Blackwood, Chief Operating Officer at Warner Brothers Pictures Group, and Richard Brenner, President and Chief Creative Officer, New Line Cinema, in a joint statement. Fans know Helm's Deep as the stage for one of the greatest battles ever put to film, and with many of the same creative visionaries involved and the brilliant Kenji Kamiyama at the helm, we couldn't be more excited to deliver a fresh vision of its history that will invite global audiences to experience the rich, complex saga of Middle-earth in a thrilling new way.
See what they did there? With Kenji Kamiyama at the helm. Clever. Very clever.
Smart. Very
Now,
smart.
Those of you that don't know, the story focused around Helm Hammerhand. Obviously, Helm's Deep was named after Helm. It was originally the Fortress of Suthburg. It's a very cool story. You may
I actually
be
don't know the
familiar with
story.
it from the Shadow of War video game, where there was an adaptation of the character's story. They kind of followed his origins and the kingly part of his story, but what happened to him after that is not the case in canon. So getting to explore his actual story is awesome, because he is this larger-than-life king that has these legends about him striking down his enemies to death with a single blow.
Yeah, I mean, his name is Hammerhand. Like,
I mean, his name is badass.
Which is a nickname, by the way, which he got from
okay.
literally striking people to death.
His name is
with a
actually
single-
Joe Blocks.
with a single punch. So this goes back to what we said at the start of the video. As a character, Helm lends himself well to anime over live action because of this larger-than-life legend that he has become. Interestingly enough, and coincidentally, we did actually put out a video on Helm Hammerhand earlier today. So if you want to know more about his character and maybe get an idea about what this anime will be about, then you can check that out.
I'll have to watch
I think
that.
it's interesting maybe to watch that, and when the film comes out, we can compare how much they change. So if you haven't read the section in the book that covers very briefly his life, then watching that video will give you a good understanding, and it's fun to compare the lore to the adaptions.
Yeah, like every time they adapt, like with the show at the moment and stuff, we're gonna have that wondering moment of, are they gonna alter anything? Obviously, we know from like the Hobbit movies, they altered a fair bit or added fair bits that were not included originally. So will they be doing that with Helm Hammerhand? Are they gonna add to his story, or will there be enough there?
I love this t-shirt, the
They have to add
Rohirrim.
in some way, because we pretty much have a paragraph about Helm. But I think the story lends itself well to an arc of a film, for sure. For like a good hour and a half, 2 hour piece. All they're going to have to add is the little in-between scenes. Obviously, they have to add all the dialogue, because none of that's there. There's no lines that they can take from the book, really. So, yeah, they're going to have to add a lot. But as long as they stick with the structure of his arc, his story, I will be happy.
Yeah. So it's safe to say, as a subject, I mean, I get why they put the Lord of the Rings in the title.
Can you really go wrong with an animated movie? I mean, I guess dialogue-wise is probably where you could go extremely wrong, right? As long as they've got, like you said, a good arc for the story. But I worry the fact that they've only got a paragraph to go off of. I don't worry. I'm optimistic about these kind of things, like I am with the Amazon show, right? So I'm really looking forward to this. But I hope they get the dialogue right. I hope it just sounds like Lord of the Rings dialogue. Do you know what I mean? We'll see, though. We'll see.
But
Let me know what you guys think.
It's nothing to do with the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, it's obviously just to get the attention of people. Yeah, that a little bit weird. I like the War of the Rohirrim, like,
Yeah.
obviously here with the Brohirrim. We love this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, very, very keen on that part of it. But what about the director, Kenji Kamiyama? I hope I'm saying that right.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know anything. I haven't seen Blade Runner Black Lotus or Ghost in the Shell
Same.
standalone
No,
complex. I'm assuming they're animes.
But I've heard of them, so maybe they are maybe they have been well done.
Yeah, they're animes, and I think, which I may be wrong, I think they're series, not movies.
Oh, really?
So it's not. I don't think it's the Ghost in the Shell movie. I think it's a series.
Oh, is it?
I think. I don't know. I'll
could
put
be
a
wrong.
correction on the screen here if I am completely wrong with that. But I did have a quick look at him when this was announced last night. So, yeah, I mean, he doesn't look like he's
To
done
Google!
hundreds of things, but there's no reason to think he would do anything bad. There was no negativity around his name, from what I could tell. But I will admit he is a new name too.
Yeah, obviously the director plays a big part, but when it comes down to anime and animation in general, it's very much a team effort. And as long as they get the right team on board,
I wonder what art style they'll go down. Has anyone ever heard of the game Banner Saga? That could be a cool art style. I'm trying to think. Now I'm thinking the art style as well could ruin it. No, it could though, it really could. Like if they go full anime art style, I don't think that will work. Another thought.
it's going to go well. And Kenji, I don't know this, I'm assuming, this is very much an assumption, Kenji Kamiyama sounds very Japanese to me. And obviously anime has its origin in Japan, so
yeah,
it makes sense. I'm personally a huge anime fan, so is James.
Yeah.
If you don't know, we do run another channel, History of Dragon Ball, which obviously is all focused around the anime Dragon Ball. So this is super exciting for me. Is that thunder?
No, it was hell. I hope you could hear that otherwise that would be
Yeah.
weird.
Speaking of helm, though, one thing that's so important to me for this is normally we'd say, well, they have to cast it right, which they do in terms of voice, but the design for Helm, it needs to be right because, like we said about this larger-than-life persona, something they did get right in the Shadow of War game was his design. I think Helm looked awesome. He looked intimidating. He looked believable as this huge, scary king that if he punched you, you're gonna die. So as long as you get the
That's
design
his
right,
story. That's pretty
I mean, the
badass.
whole realm of Rohan has been designed vaguely off Viking design or words and stuff. So yeah,
Listen, just go down the Kratos route. Giant bald guy, Chad beard, cool tattoos, and he says "boy" a lot. Let's do that. Screw it. Just get Kratos. Oh my god! Imagine if they got a voice actor. Oh, what's his name? Oh, that'd be amazing.
You know, for example, a Rolo from Vikings.
Yeah.
If you've seen Vikings, that kind of idea is what I can imagine they're going to go towards. Obviously, the more exaggerated style,
just essentially a big berserker. Yeah. Type Viking. Yeah, the legend of the berserker. Not an Uruk-hai berserker, but a Viking one. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We wanted to get our thoughts out there as soon as possible, and if you guys,
I will say there should be one more little thing we could discuss.
Yes.
We touched on it at the beginning, but the idea of how people are quite strongly opinionated on animated Tolkien content. Because I've already seen a lot of people putting up about this is a terrible idea and it's a cash grab.
I can understand why people are getting to that, but also the way I look at it is the more content we can get, the happier I am. If we can
exactly the way I think. Obviously, it has to be done right, but I just love Lord of the Rings so much, and I don't get why people are so angry about every time something new from Lord of the Rings shows up. I don't mean people. I mean less than 20% that are just no, leave Lord of the Rings as it is. It's perfect. Blah blah blah. I understand where they're coming from. Don't get me wrong, but me being selfish, I just want Lord of the Rings done more. Do you know what I mean? It's my favorite movie franchise of all time. I want more of it. So, like I said, as long as it's done right, it doesn't even have. Obviously, in a perfect world, to be done perfect would be amazing. But even if it's done like, 8 out of 10, I'll still be happy as long as it's all still done, still true to the Lord of the Rings universe and to what Tolkien, stood for and stuff like that. Then hey, we should be all good.
It's like when the War of the Ring mobile game was announced. That everyone complained about that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean we're not getting a console game or a PC game or anything like that. So having all these things on all these different platforms is a good thing. We're getting a live action Amazon show. We're getting a feature anime. We're probably going to get another live action film at some point. Who knows? We're getting mobile games. We're probably getting more console games. Like, this is all good stuff. If you don't like anime, you don't have to watch it.
No.
It doesn't matter. This is not, Tolkien is not releasing this. This is not technically canon. It's canon within Peter Jackson's universe.
Yes.
If you're a fan of that, I suggest watching it. But animation.
A great way of looking at it, man.
And I think a lot of people, when I've seen a lot of these comments and stuff, I think people forget that the first time we saw Lord of the Rings on screen was a cartoon.
Yeah.
And The Hobbit. Was it Ralph Bakashian?
BBC cartoon.
Yeah.
I am so sorry for names. Yeah, but his vision, it was a cartoon, and a lot of people learnt about it and fell in love with it because of that. Yet there seems to also be a hate behind it, and I just don't quite understand that.
And a lot of the visuals that we know and recognize today from the Peter Jackson stuff and from like Alan Lee and John Howe and all these amazing designers, their inspiration came from these original animated movies.
There you go. There you go. All I'm saying is, the more Lord of the Rings that happens, the more people that get involved and learn about the thing we all fell in love with. You know what I mean? There's probably a 14-year-old, 15-year-old, 13-year-old, whatever, who's going to watch this animated movie, if it goes well, falls in love with it, then he has so much to enjoy and look into. Do you know what I mean? He'll find the first movie, he'll find the second movie, he'll find the third movie, he'll fall in love with that, he'll start reading the books. That's what I'm saying, man. Those are the things that I want, man. Those are the things that I love. My little brother luckily had me to show him, Lord of the Rings, man. He hated Gollum, bless him. But it's just also the youth, man. Like, it'll be really nice for them to all learn about the things we fell in love with. I think that's a beautiful thing, personally. And like what they just said, that was the whole reason Peter Jackson made the movies, correct? Because of the cartoon, or that's what he was inspired from. So, hey, if it wasn't for the cartoon, maybe there wouldn't have been a movie. Do you know what I mean? So, to everyone complaining, just think of stuff like that, right? As long as, obviously, we're all in the same boat as you, they have to, do it justice and get it somewhat correct. They'll probably, they are going to be making stuff up, I assume, dialogue here and there. But as long as it's, it seems like it's from the Lord of the Rings universe, then hey, I'm a happy man.
Yeah.
So, for all we know, this War of the Rohirrim could inspire the next generation of phenomenal.
Man, great minds think alike, sir. Great minds think alike.
Concept artists. So, I for one literally could not be more excited.
Yes, I mean, like I said before, on the old channel, we said
I love
a lot
their
about
optimism,
how
man.
We think this is definitely a road they could have gone down, and it would be a good road to go down for the whole Tolkien universe. And I'm really glad they are doing it. But I think the thing to remember, like with the show, like you said, is you don't have to watch it if you really don't want to. If you don't like anime, you don't have to watch it.
It shouldn't affect your love for the content.
I don't like anime. Well, I don't want to say I don't like anime. I've never watched anime. It's never really appealed to me. But this does. Maybe watching this will get me into anime. Do you know what I mean? So,
yeah. But I feel like this is a good story, a good place to start. I've got high hopes.
Like I said in the video on Helm Hammerhand, this is a character that I've said multiple times is not only one of the coolest characters that Tolkien ever wrote about, despite the limited information we have on him, but he lends himself well to a standalone story, whether that be through a film, an anime, or a series. I'm glad they've picked this.
Yes.
If they had come to me and said, what would be a cool story we could do for an anime? I would have either said something from the Silmarillion, or I would have gone straight to this. So maybe they watched the video on Helm on our channel.
Maybe we inspired them.
We'll tell ourselves that.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, let us know in the comments down below what you think of this film, what you think of this announcement. Would you have preferred a live action? Or would you have preferred a different story? Are you happy with anime? Would you have preferred something from the Silmarillion?
I'm just happy with
Let's
more
just
Lord of the
discuss.
Rings.
I will ask you that. Would you prefer a non-anime version of Helm Hammerhand?
I would, if I was honest.
I would have preferred it live action, yes.
Yeah.
But we're getting the show, which is live action, so I like a little bit of
Yeah.
diversity of content.
Yep,
Yes.
he's completely right. I would have preferred it live action, if you asked me, but more Lord of the Rings content, man. We're getting shows, we're getting animes. All that's missing. All I ask for. And I currently twitch.tv/OmarioRpg. I'm reacting to E3 week. Give me a Lord of the Rings game, but it's a CRPG. That's all I want. I know a lot of people don't play CRPGs. I'm a huge CRPG fan. Like Divinity Original Sin. I don't know if anyone's played Divinity Original Sin, Pillars of Eternity. I'd love a Lord of the Rings game in that style, or a Star Wars game in that style. But that's just me. Anyway, I'm way off topic now. Let's see what the comments say. The horn of Helm Hammerhand shall sound once more. I have to admit, I'm not a fan of anime, but I'll definitely make exceptions for this. Exactly what I said. I shudder at the thought of them making up their own narrative. Not a big anime fan. I'll definitely watch this. I mean, their comments seem great. That's good for them, man. That's good for them. I love the optimism here. Either way, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Be sure to check out The Broken Sword. Subscribe to my channel if you want to. And comment down below what you want to see next. Also, let me know what you guys think about this. You don't have to be positive. You can be negative. Just try and keep it nice and clean. Take care. Bye-bye. Hey, welcome to the end of the video. I really appreciate you watching. Thank you so much for being here. You don't understand how much I appreciate your time. Thank you for subscribing, whatever you've done to support the channel. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't. And if you want to support the channel further, there's a tip link in the description down below. Never feel like you have to, only if you want to. Comment down below what you want to see next on the channel. And thank you so much for being here. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.